Now, birth registration in Nigeria increased by 57% in 2021. This according to a survey report by the Child Rights Information Bureau of the Federal Ministry of Information in collaboration with UNICEF. Despite this increase, more than 40% of children are still unregistered in the country. The survey shows that 3% of the children under the age of 5 had their births registered but do not have birth certificates. UNICEF says its main priority is to support the National Population Commission and the federal government to reach a universal birth registration. The UNICEF Nigeria Child Protection Manager, Amandine Bollinger, joins me virtually from Abuja to discuss this development. Thank you so much for joining us on TVC News at 1. Talk to us about how crucial it is to register your child at birth.
Not registered is a child who doesn't exist legally, a child who has no name, who has no paper, no identity, no age, no legal representation, and a child to whom everything is possible. It means, for instance, no age means that we can't follow up the immunization time for the child. We can't follow up on the education of the child. If anything happens and a child gets in detention, we cannot prove the age of the child and get them out of detention. Marriage is also another critical issue. So it's the basis of any child's rights, and it's a fundamental one to protect our children.
What do you think is responsible for the not registering one's child when they are given birth to? Is it lack of knowledge or something? Where is the missing gap? Help us to, amplify what exactly is responsible for this.
There are many gaps. One, you're absolutely right. It's about parents not knowing and not being sensitized on the importance of getting your child registered. I have to say that also a lot of mothers themselves are not registered themselves and do not have a birth certificate. So they do not understand the importance for their children to get this birth certificate because they've lived all their lives without it. But many of these mothers also do not have a bank account, for instance, so they never really understood the implication. So parents and community sensitization around it is critical, but also several issues in the system. One is the legal issue. You have a double legislation. The Constitution says that it's mandatory to register your child within 60 days after birth and nominates National Population Commission responsible for it. But the Birth and Death Act in 1992 also gives the possibility for the LGA, in addition to giving it also to NPC, the authority to register children. So that creates a dual registration process. Well, then the services.
Yeah, very quickly, despite the improvement by 10% increase in number of birth registration between 2016 and 2021, it's still been said that there is still an existing gap to be filled, and this gap is about 40% of children that are still unregistered in Nigeria precisely. How do you think this gap can actually be bridged?
Addressing the legal process will be important, but most importantly, until now, we are still registering babies manually. And we need to change that. There's no proper digital system. So the idea is to create an automated, digitalized, decentralized system across the country that would allow at any health facility point to register straight away a baby when it's born, when the baby is born, and then follow up with the family. Now, the issue is in Nigeria, about more than 60% of the babies are not born in health facilities. So you also need to be able to bring this digitalized system to the household level, in villages, in wards, working with communities, with traditional leaders to make sure that babies are registered. And this is the focus of the country at the moment, and particularly the National Population Commission.
Right. UNICEF Nigeria Child Protection Manager, Amandine Bollinger, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.